I think the main problem is that people think they're awake, and all they have to do now is wake up the majority of people, to wake up the masses, because they're already awake. Like this wake up sheeple thing. David Icke. David Icke did nothing more than to break our little hypnosis program, but awake we are not. It's futile thinking that you're awake and all you need to do is wake up the population and then everything will be okay. We can all rally against the same government and get them to do our bidding. No. There's a little bit more to waking up than to seeing a problem and then sharing it with others. There's a little bit more to taking responsibility than seeing who's to blame and then making them responsible. There's more to waking up than to having your eyes just open to the physical realm. You can pick up a book. You can pick up a legal document. You can read it. Now, when it comes to things like cooking or repairing cars or building houses, people can accept that they've got skills or they're not good at cooking or they are good at cooking or that they can accept their weaknesses. But when it comes to thinking, people don't like to think they're thick. But I need to say it. If you think you're awake and all you need to do is wake others up to the horror, then you're an idiot. There's a lot more we can do as individuals, like learn things, like stop trying to find the blame. We know there's corruption in government. We know the media is playing hoaxes and staged events on us. We don't know why, maybe. We don't know where or when. We don't know which ones are real and fake. But we know for sure that something's not quite right. But by having this attitude that the majority need to wake up is just futile. And thinking that we can destroy government and replace it with something better without even knowing how a government works or even being able to spell properly or read words properly. All these people are saying wake up sheeple. You are David Icke's sheep. You're Alex Jones' sheep. Just following what they've said. Falling into the biggest trap ever. There's a lot of people out here in internet land, in the world, saying things that they think are maybe good for the world. But maybe they're making an innocent mistake. Maybe somebody else even knows that they're making innocent mistakes and won't say anything. But if we don't take into consideration our own innocent mistakes, the fact that we're jumping to a conclusion, casting judgments with no evidence and no basis for an argument, just judgmental, just totally judgmental, without the authority, without the right, without anything. People say that they're like totally convicted to doing this, totally dedicated to waking people up. So wake up yourself a little bit more. Learn some more things. Listen to people like me and forget about listening to those who you want to build a hate gang. Because it seems to me, all you want me to do is say something that wakes up the others, but you're already consider yourself as awake. Now, none of you have proved on my channel that you're awake. I know it takes time, and I'm not saying I'm awake. I'm saying that there is no waking. I'm saying there's lucidity. If you're dreaming and you know you're dreaming, then you can maybe break yourself out that dream or control that dream. But if you think you're awake and then you just let go, then you're just captive of the next dream. You woke up within a dream, in a dream. And it becomes a nightmare. And you're trying to share that with nightmares, that nightmare with others, just to break your own nightmare. You're better off going back to sleep. Because if you don't pick up some books and look at the things that affect you in life, whether it be food, whether it be law, whatever it may be, health, housing, business, self-employment, if all you're doing is just blaming a nation for attacking another nation, or your nation, which isn't yours, for attacking another nation, all of these national conflicts and political conflicts. If you want to blame your politician, look at the strings attached to his head and follow those strings and find out who's pulling the strings of the puppets in government. But don't think that you're going to be able to point fingers at some politician and change the world that way. Don't think you can besmirch a politician's name and that makes it all go away. Don't think you can find the blame in someone else and suddenly the whole thing will dissolve on its own. Because just finding blame isn't enough. Even taking that person out of power isn't enough. You have to find the wisdom and you have to find the answers in your heart. I know you're good at heart, but it sounds to me like a lot of you have just got a forked tongue. You can't stop swearing, you can't stop being angry, because we're just feeding off vindictiveness. We're being bred to be angry, acidic little sheep. And I'm not falling into that trap of offering you videos that you can share in some kind of like big horror awakening, like trying to wake everybody up to the corruption. It just does not work. You know, we don't need to spread the message. The media is doing a good enough job of spreading its staged events. We just need to understand out why things are happening the way they are and how we can get control, how we can come together. But if we're always shouting at each other and swearing our fucking heads off and getting angry at governments and finding blame and trying to agree whether we should, like, you know, punish them or punish them for that or punish them for that or blame them for that, well, go on, get your opinions together. Your opinions are worth nothing without action. And if you're going to turn to violence and an aggression, like physical aggression or psychological coercion as your means of getting forward, then it's not you just join in the bad guys. You'll be like fighting the enemy and not looking around you. How many people you're hurting? How many people's feet you're standing on? And for sure, there's a lot of very clever and wise people on this planet who've got important jobs to pursue, important duties that make our lives easier. And they're not able to just come on a camera and start being as abusive as someone like me or you. You know, they have a position of responsibility, and they also have like a bit of dignity and you know, people are not going to come out and speak their own truth if we've got such an environment of blame, of vindictiveness, of people just drinking this acidic, poisonous information that all it does is make you angry and make you blame the government and blame everybody for not waking up. Now wake the fuck up yourself. Listen carefully to those who are saying things calmly. Don't fucking expect me to get angry and then you can post that to one of your friends who you think's not awake, because I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. You might have woken up to step one, but you're about to fall into the biggest trap, the biggest joke that history's ever supplied. And I'm not going to stand here and in 2 sentences tell you the answer. You should have just listened more carefully. All right, I've had enough. Cheerio.